let's take a little moment to settle. And let's go ahead and set our motivation today. And make clear in the mind the reason and the main purpose that you are here today. And with the aim that we will learn Dharma, to be able to practice it in our daily lives, with the purpose of benefiting ourselves and mostly others. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take refuge. On page 1. I go for refuge until I am enlightened unto the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of practicing giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of practicing giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits of practicing giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every offering, actual and mentally imagined. I confess all my destructive actions, accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until cyclic existence ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate all the virtues of myself and others to the Great Awakening. Let's offer the mandala. This ground, anointed with perfume, flowers strewn, Mount Meru, 4 lands, sun and moon, imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you. May all beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of attachments, aversion and ignorance, friends, enemies and strangers, my body, wealth and enjoyments, I offer these without any sense of loss. Please accept them with pleasure and inspire me and others to be free from the 3 poisonous attitudes. Idam Guru palakam niyatayami. Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Sabu.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
How was lunch?
Very nice.
Very nice, yeah. Wow. Today is what? It's almost mid of one more week, and it's the half of October. Okay, so we do have a plan, right? This week, practically, I'd like everybody to just focus now on, we're going to begin a mind training. And this is almost like a retreat. But it is more profound practice, because you're really gonna do this in the midst of many obstacles, you know, which is basically our daily life. So we're gonna begin now. This is eight points, okay, 8 verses of mind training. This is, I received this training with different, of course, masters and lamas, and mainly I received this from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And so I would like to incorporate this into our daily life. Now, this is a mind training, okay? This is not like something like we're studying. We already studied, right? This is what I'd like you to understand, that the studying of the Dharma is very, very important for you to be able to deliver it in real life, in a real life situation. And the practice of Dharma is not only in the mind, okay? We're going to have to action it. With what? Action it with the correct intention. And the mind training here is basically developing bodhicitta. Now, I have received this 8 verses of mind training. We will work on it every Sunday. You will receive 1 verse, okay? And in 1 verse, I will expound and explain what it is. That way it will be planted in our minds. And then the moment you get up here, you're going to begin to train the mind with that verse. So basically, it's like your food, all right? You chew on this verse the best that you can. Maybe some of us may not even have the teeth for it, or the tooth. You lick it, okay? Work on licking it if you don't have the teeth. Teeth meaning understanding, all right? Because you know, when we eat food, what? We have to chew it. You know, even though as soft as a tofu, that will still choke you, right? But because chewing is like we studied it and discussed this, all right? So, 8. So technically, if we're seeing each other every Sunday, this is about 8 weeks. This is almost like a retreat training. In any retreat, they usually do this for about 8 days. But we're going to do it profoundly, because this is technically 2 months, which is very good, you know. Yeah, so imagine the mind, just one verse, and you work on this practice for 1 week, 7 days. Wow! You surpass retreat. Yeah? So are you on to this one? You'd like to begin? Yeah? And so let's do it. I myself will practice it as well. Okay? Because this is basically what's the instruction. That even the teacher, even the person that leads this will engage into the practice. Okay? Alright, so I'd like you, everybody got one piece of paper? Yeah? Alright. Now, set everything aside, okay? But just this paper in front of you. Okay? Do this just for the sake of your focus today. Okay? Because this piece of paper, you will take this with you to work, okay? Anywhere you go and read it. Okay? Alright. So make sure you have this one, pink or white. Okay? Doesn't matter. When you write something here, just whatever you understood, okay? That makes sense, you write it down. Okay? Okay. So what I'd like to do here that I have not really seen over how they practice this is today is the beginning of the mind training, which is basically from Avalokiteshvara. This is compassion, Alright, the training to develop the heart of true kindness and compassion. This is it. Once you train on this, I tell you what, your heart will turn. You little by little, It's like a screw. Like a screw. When you begin your turn to put the screw on a wall or on a cement, it's like twitching every time. Yeah? Okay. And this will soften the mind. I tell you my experience on this retreat with the mind training of this sort, okay? Because there's many mind training, we will get there someday. I was not even a Buddhist when I had this. And it did for me. Yeah, it did it for me. On the 4th day, the 4th verse, it got me already. So with your diligence, your hard work, and the love of the Dharma, it will soften you immediately. And this is what we're trying to develop. Okay, loving kindness and compassion. Alright? So, but what I'm going to do is you get a verse, right? First verse. We are then going to apply the 4 fundamentals. Okay? What are the 4 fundamentals? Knowing that every living being, your life is very precious. Right? Realize that. Okay? What's the second one? The essence of impermanence. All phenomena, okay, are impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Right? What's the third one, which is very important as well? The law of karma. And everything that you do now, you have to remember karma. Okay? The causes and effect. Yeah? And then the last one, to realize the suffering of samsara, which is every living being, every sentient being that you see and you experience go through this birth, aging, sickness, and death. That is because we are in this realm, okay, of samsara. Okay? Alright, so we're going to receive the first verse, and then we're going to practice this. How are we going to practice this in real life? Okay? Our everyday life, your life, because everybody have their own little, life here, right? Okay, ready for this? Yeah? Okay, so here's the first verse. The first verse, verse 1, okay, is with a determination to achieve the highest aim. For the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem. And here we go. May I hold them dear at all times. Now let's read this all together. Okay? Now when you read this, you really put this in heart. Okay? So, with a determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Yeah. Now there's 4 lines of this verse. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, which is what? Buddhahood, right? You wish to liberate from samsara. You need to aim for the highest, okay? For what? For the benefit of all beings. Which these beings, these all sentient beings, they practically surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem. See how precious they are. All sentient beings. And then at the end, and you say, may I hold them dear at all times. Okay? May I hold them dear at all times. This is quite difficult. See, this is about bodhicitta now, okay? All right. So, basically, the main sense here of these 4 lines, okay, is about cultivating the holding dear of all sentient beings, including a cockroach. You're gonna look at the cockroach and say, you too, my dear, is special. You need to hold these beings, Now this is gonna be a little bit getting harder, all right? So basically, this emphasizes to develop an attitude. We need to develop an attitude to regard all sentient beings as precious, much in the manner of a precious jewel. Okay? But you say, oh my goodness, why do we need to cultivate this? Yeah? Why do we need to cultivate the thought, okay, that other sentient beings are precious and valuable?
And I noted here about 10 to 11 reasons why. Okay? And you possibly, if you write it down with your little piece of paper, just the word, okay? Any one word, two word. Why we need to value sentient beings very precious. And this is a first practice. Number 1, okay? Because, look at each other. Go ahead, look at each other. Seriously, look at each other. Can you see this being next to you, a precious being? Of course, otherwise I will not be happy. Yeah, no, seriously. You know, if I look at Tammy, okay, Tammy does some very special things to others. You know, works hard, you know, to make sure the family, you know, is well. Look at Helen, you know. All the sacrifices she's done to her family, to her kids, you know. A beautiful thing to see, you know. All this difficulty, but yet, you know, they do it. And you look at Yogan here, you know. Imagine he brought this table here and relieved me from carrying it. Ah, this is special and precious. As simple as that, you know, carrying a table here. It doesn't matter how he does it, but I did not carry this here. You know how heavy this thing is? Okay. Why? You see, how can I not see every one of you precious? Because in every manner, okay, you are the source, you know, that you are the principal source of all my experiences. You understand? Experiences of joy. You are the source of my joy, you know, my happiness and prosperity. Where am I going to teach the Dharma without you? I cannot teach Dharma on a wall. That's right now. You know, I'm not even talking about what I do. Just right now. Without you, will I be talking Dharma? No. So how precious this is. Without you, I will not be able to have this opportunity. Yeah? Now, look at the clothes that you wear right now. You know? Who had a new haircut here? If somebody has a new haircut here, who cut your hair? Did you cut your hair? And then you say, oh no, Rakita, I paid for that. Ah. But before you paid, they cut your hair first. Actually, you should pay them for what? Expressing of their preciousness. Not because you paid their services. You know? You actually, that's the way to say, thank you very much. You made me look good today. Who showered today? Oh, come on, raise your hand, please. Yeah? Did we all take a shower today?
Not yet.
Yeah?
Tonight.
Tonight? Okay. Yeah? Okay. Do you think you just open the faucet and the water comes out? Who actually brings that water to you on your faucet? Many people give up their life and services to make sure you have a drop of water coming through your faucet. Have you ever thought of that? This is already the beginning of the truth here. Seeing you are not the only one that exists here. You will never exist without others. Okay? From your clothes to the food that you eat, yeah, the cars that you drive, to the petrol that you waste, yeah. Everything. Tell me anything that is not done by other beings. Wow. The more you see this, the more you look very little, which is amazing, because this is what we need to reflect on. We will not exist without other beings. We cannot. Can you exist? You cannot even exist because of the organisms and everything that it works in your body right now. You know. Without all of this, the balance, you will not make it. Yeah? That is one very profound. So each time I'd like you to look whatever, your paper and pen. Look at your pen right now. Who made that? Did you make that?
No.
And again you say, oh, I bought it. But before you bought it, it was made for you. Isn't that beautiful? This is profound. It makes you like, oh my goodness. I am so indebted with other beings. I cannot survive this very life without others, without the kindness and sacrifices of others. You see that phone that we use? Who has phones? Yeah? You know how many people's lives actually got sacrificed with just one iPhone? Not only humans, other sentient beings like insects and everything, they lost their homes because of this one phone. And then we go running around and so proud about having phones, but you have no clue how many beings have sacrificed their lives, even the food that we eat. That's why, with humility, we look at everything that we possess, everything that we encounter, and it is all because of others. Who has a job here? Everybody has a job, right? Do you think you have a job without others? No. Zero. You cannot hold a job. You cannot have any fame, any reputation without others. Wow. So now, this is a big thing. So now you're going to look at everyone. This is going to be a little bit tough because you said, well, what about my enemy?
We need them to know what's the meaning of enemy.
Or, in other words, somebody who does not like you and you don't like them. Okay? We call them we dislike. Okay? This is the one that is difficult. But this week, how are you going to dissolve that? Little by little. Rice? When you eat it, one rice,